What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to Wednesday Night Chats with Dads with your host, King Smith. Couple of marketing things to get that out the way real quick. This show is every Wednesday night live on 5 major platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. I know I said 5 and named 3, but it's streaming in 5 places simultaneously. I am also going to plug that I have a new community page. It is www.facebook.com/The Actual King Smith. I got it in the show notes. Go on over there, click that like or that follow button so that I can transition away from posting on my personal Facebook page and posting over there. I also put the audio version of this podcast onto all major podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, all of them joints. So you can hear that over there. All right. So the person that I have coming on tonight is not on yet. He is working and going to come over from one meeting over to this one. And as a matter of fact, he just popped up. All right. So this is perfect. So I'm going to give a soft introduction before I bring him on to the broadcast. And here is this introduction. I've never met him. He is married to my cousin. At least I don't think I've met him. Now, my memory is trash. So if we have met, Germaine, when you come online, man, let me know. But because I have a horrible memory. But he's married to my cousin. All right. And shout out to Alicia. But she follows my podcast and she tunes in whenever I come on. And me and Germaine, we are linked up on Facebook. And he asked me, hey, man, what's the email address and how do I come on to Chats with Dads? He just so happened to email me as the guy who I was going to have come on cancel. And I was going to run a solo show because that's what I typically do. I try to have a backup plan to run a solo show in case, life happens and somebody cancel. But he was able to move some things around and make some things work. So this is going to be a test of how we can have this with complete strangers because the platform's growing. People are asking how to come on. And I have other people that just through conversation, I mentioned it to them and they want to come on and, just talk about life as a dad, life as a father, life as men in general. So I'm happy to have people that want to come on to my passion project here and get this thing rocking. So, Germaine, I see you. I'm about to bring you on and let's get the show rocking, man.
Hey, how's it going, man? And my memory is just as trash as yours. So I cannot remember if we have or haven't met. And I'm like, have we? So if you weren't at the wedding, probably not. And if he was at the wedding, I probably still wouldn't remember it anyway because I had such an awesome time at my own wedding. So that's what I mean. So.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, hey, man, welcome. Nice to meet you because I was not at the wedding. I believe if social media serves me right, y'all are fairly newlyweds within the last 3 years.
4 years. 4 years.
Hey, man, don't pause like that, brother.
I had to look at her, but she's not here. I did 5 years in March.
Okay. All right. So, Lisa doesn't have any kids, so you're a father, though, if yes. My research... Now, so I have a research assistant who's sitting over there, and, what I'm saying, we kind of did some research or whatnot, so I'm coming to this with a little bit of knowledge at least.
Right. Okay.
So you are a father.
Yes, sir. I'm a father of 5, so get that. So ask your cousin why in the world she married me and I got 5 kids. You have to ask her that, but... Yeah, I'm a father of 5, and they're all in different age groups. So each one of them have their own different things. So yeah, one is 26. My son just turned 22 a week ago, and then I don't know if you follow Facebook. I had a son that had a 13th birthday party. My daughter is 17, and then I have a young one who's 9. So.
Okay, yeah. So you got the whole spectrum of ages from adult to still in middle school with the 9-year-old. Yeah. Okay. So I have to ask you, with those 5 kids, previous marriage, before marriage to Alicia?
Yep. Previous marriage, yep.
Okay. All right. Now, you, I'm going to make some assumptions here.
Okay.
My assumptions is y'all met in North Carolina, but how did you and my cousin meet?
So, um, I was hungry. I was doing personal training at the Rush, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go hit a Walmart and try to get me some, get me something to eat, go shopping real quick. And I was in the meat section, and she was in the meat section. And at this point in my life, because the marriage was over, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm never getting married again. I'm just gonna play the streets, do the single dad thing, use that to, because I'm a single dad, I can get girls like that. Because so I was gonna use that to my advantage. Like I take care of I'm a single dad. So I was gonna use it to not get serious. And I walked by her, and something's like, "Don't do it." Something's like, "Man, go talk to her." And I was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna talk to her." And then I walked back, and then I leaned again. I was like, "Oh my god!" I hate to talk about your cousin like this, man, but she was
Hey.
in the frizz, and her backside was sticking out. And I was like, "Lord have mercy." So I was like, "You know what? Forget it. I'm going to go shoot my shot. I'm going down here." And I got down here, and on the way there, I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? I'm gonna say something to her." And then I said the stupidest thing. I was like, "Hey, you work with a trainer?" And she was like, she's like, "You calling me fat?" I'm like, "Ooh." And I'm like, now I'm discombobulated. So now the sweat's coming down even a little more. And I'm like, "Well, no, I ain't calling you fat." She said, "Yeah, I got a trainer." And I said something stupid again. "Well, do you work with him?" So I was like, "Oh my God." So I'm just digging a ditch. And I was like, "Oh, this is not going well at all." And then I guess she could see that I was nervous. So I tried to, ask her. I tried to ask her out. My phone wasn't working to get it. She was like, "What? Give me a phone." And so she took my number and she texted me because I was going down the wrong way street very fast. So she texted me, and then I tried to play the game. I tried to be cool, like I ain't gonna text her right away. And then back then I had one of them Samsung phones. If you don't use the number, it kind of goes away. So I was like, "Oh my God, did I forget to?" So I gotta find her number. And I found her number. I called her. And then of course I shot my shot. I was like, "Look, I ain't trying to be serious. I got 5 kids. You don't want this. Let's just keep it cordial." And she was like, "All right, keep it cordial." And then, I don't know if your sister, your sister, she has a great spirit.
Yeah, she does.
I
I've
think
always been that way.
Yeah, I think I fell in love first. I think I was dating her about a month before she even realized it. So yeah.
Okay, all right. It's funny. So Alicia's my cousin on my dad's side, and a lot of my family members on that side of the family, I don't get the chance to see that often just because of where they live. But
Right.
Alicia's a couple of years older than me, and I just can recall how she was when we were a lot younger, and seeing her as an adult woman, like the
Yeah.
way that you describe, her is exactly like how
Yeah.
I recall her,
Oh
being the
wow.
last time that I seen her. So
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah. All right. All right. So Germaine, Coach G right here. I see that. Are you currently a coach now?
Sorta. I kept the coach title. What I do now is college scouting. So I'm a college scout. I help high school athletes find college scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
This is the whole plethora of things that we do for them, as far as like video editing, SAT prep, scholarship searches outside of athletics and academics, and it's a whole conglomerate of things that we do, a brochure promotion, and we put it all together, and we send out to college coaches and I've sent out to college coaches. I try to do it through cell phone because not a lot of times they check their email. So all the college coaches that I know, I just send them a text to the kids and stuff like that and have a conversation like that. But and that's in that company. I still work for a certain company, but they don't like me to mention their name along with my nonprofit. So I started that about 3 years ago doing college scouting. A former athlete, former collegiate player. I played football and ran track in college, and my heart has always been trying to help athletes get to the next level. So
Nice.
after I graduated from an HBCU, which is North Carolina A&T, so Aggie pride, and she can't stop me. So I graduated. I started teaching and coaching, and then I came across this company and it was like, hey, you ever thought about doing college scouting as a career? And I'm like, no, I always thought the high school coach was supposed to do that. So he's like, no. So the guy named was Larry. He said, look, man, I'm gonna send you a video, and you watch the video and you tell me what you think. And at this point, I was like, oh Lord, he's trying to set me up to buy something. So I know he sent me the video, and I was like, oh my God, they do all that for athletes. I was hooked, and then so I jumped in, but once I got into it and I got going, I realized I started coming across a lot of athletes that looked like me who weren't in a financial position to be able to afford the college recruitment process. So now I'm like, okay, how can I fix that? How can I fix that? Because I don't want to tell this kid all the stuff that we can do for them with the scholarship prep, the SAT search, and brochure promotion, and the emails and stuff like that. I want to go through all that, get their hopes up, and then they get to the price and they can't afford it. So now it doesn't sit right in my spirit. I got to walk away from them because of money. And so what can I do? And for years, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I need to figure out something. How can I help those kids that are in that position get better? And then COVID hits. And then, of course, now everybody's at home. Now there's no athletics going on anyway. So now my pockets are hurting. I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? And then we started looking at the news and start seeing all this injustice, and then the Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm like, okay, how can I create change? How can I make a difference and stay in my lane at the same time? So it hit me, athletics, college sports. If you look at college sports, and I don't want to sound like racist but I am pro-Black. But a lot of the kids that are at these universities are African American kids, and I know the NIL just now came out, so the kids can now make money off their likeness, which is a whole nother thing that's happening. I thought, what if good athletes started going to HBCUs? What if all those good athletes started going to historically Black colleges, and then they started winning, and then when you win, you get more money, and then the school gets more, funding, and then you can start building better things. Or you can look at what Deion Sanders is doing at Jackson State. You can look at what A&T has done on their own. Started, winning, more money come in just 3 years in a row now. They've had the highest enrollment in the history of the school, or 4 years in a row now. So I started HBCU Bound Athletics, which is a nonprofit organization. And we help high school athletes, high school females, minorities, and athletes who are at a financial disadvantage with the college recruitment process. It costs no matter what. There's no ifs, ands, or ways about that. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to cut that cost and help them out. So it still costs, but now it's a tax write-off. So all the families that give, they can write that off in their taxes. But now you don't have to give as much because we're seeking donations and sponsorships and stuff like that to help out with those athletes. And we just recently partnered with Amazon. So if you have an Amazon link, and you can go to Amazon Smile and look up HBCU Bound Athletics, and every time you shop, because you use our link, Amazon will donate to HBCU Bound Athletics, and this costs nothing to you. You're doing everything you're doing anyway. You're going to shop on Amazon anyway, so why not use that link so HBCU Bound can get some proceeds from Amazon?
I like that. Now, I didn't know that part about Amazon, but my research department did find your website and linked it into the show notes. So,
okay.
Man, that's dope, brother. I like that.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Sports have always been something that's like near and dear to me, man. I like, no matter at really what level that you play, the camaraderie that can be built from specifically team sports anyway, because there are individual sports and stuff out there. But, team sports, I think the stuff that it teaches you, if you can get into it young, and then the opportunities that it can provide to people should they possess the right skills to be able to compete, man, at a high level.
You got to have it up here because there are some people that have it here, but they don't have it here.
Yeah.
So, the worst part is to have it here and not have it here. You can figure to do it, but you're not athletic enough to do it. So that's something you gotta you gotta take into account where you are take into account of where you are athletically and mentally. Um, it's I've always been sports. I knew I was going to be something with sports in 10th grade. And I was like, if it didn't have anything to do with sports, I probably wasn't going to be involved with it long.
Gotcha.
Believe it or not, I joined the military right out of high school. So I did 7 years in the military before I went to college. So the military is definitely team-minded, team-oriented, but it's definitely sports-oriented too. It reminds you of a team. You know, you got the captain, you got the leader, you got one person that does this, that one person that does this, but they all come into effect for the greater good. So I definitely am an advocate for the military, but I can't tell you what to do when you go in the military, because a lot of people are scared to go in the military because they don't know much about it. Like, oh, I ain't going to get shot at. I don't want to get. I was a dental assistant. Wasn't nobody shooting at me. So I made sure that I picked something that was kind of easy. I ain't gonna say kind of easy, because I mean, you still do combatant stuff and you still learn. But I was a dental assistant. I got up at 8 in the morning. I was off work at 3 and had the rest of the day to myself. So it's not everything is rah guns in the military. So a lot of kids, they need to know that, who are afraid of going in the military. There's other things you can do. You can work in a hospital in the military. You can work in the personnel office. You know, be an accountant in the military. You can work as a yeoman, like working with doctors, with lawyers in the military. It's not just guns. You can do construction in the military. If you want to learn landscaping and learn how to be an architect, go in the military and do CBs, and they'll teach you, and you can come out and go to college. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's get personal, Germaine. Let's get personal. So I'm taking a look at you, man. I don't see any grays on your head. So how in the world do you have a 26-year-old, brother?
Man, I really appreciate that. But I'll be 49 on my birthday, man.
Get out of here.
I'll be 49. That's how I got your cousin, because she didn't believe I was that old either. She was like, you are
okay.
Not.
She said, "Oh,
she's coming like, oh Lord." Yeah. So I get mid-30s a lot, but I don't know why I don't have any gray hair, man. It's not for lack of effort, because I had plenty of stress, but I think I got to a point in my life where I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to let things bother me. Matter of fact, I wear the Serenity Prayer religiously. So if I can change it, change it. If I can't, oh well. And I definitely need to know if I can or can't. We have that wisdom to understand if I can or can't change things. But just, it is what it is, man. If you can't change it, why are you worrying about it? It ain't gonna change. So stressing over it ain't gonna fix it. So
okay. All right. Now, I don't want to make any assumptions, but all 5 kids from your previous marriage?
No, my oldest daughter, well, I tried to marry her mama, but I guess she didn't want to, but she got cold feet. I proposed, but she was like, no, and she bounced. So, no, they're not all from the same marriage. So they have different moms, but, and different problems. So I'm gonna get too personal. She can be like, I'm tell my whole story. So I was supposed to get married to my oldest daughter, because we were in the military. Her mom got cold feet, and she gave me back the ring and bounced. She got in the military and moved back to New Jersey, and I was stuck in California. And I think I should have just relaxed. But me growing up without a father myself, I didn't want my daughter to grow up without a dad. So I started trying to do things to figure out how can I get there to be with her. And you can see whatever I did didn't work out anyway. So I did get married to my son's oldest mom. My oldest son's and my daughter's kid. We got married, and for the wrong reasons. I got married because I was ready to be married. She said no, so I'm gonna find somebody to be married to. And
now, were you still in the service at this time?
I got out because I was trying to get my daughter. I actually got out. I was in California. I got out of the military, and I tried to rush to New Jersey. I couldn't find a place to stay, so my friend was like, "Man," or my cousin, he was like, "Man, why don't you come to Virginia, man? It's not that far of a drive from Virginia and you can stay here." But I don't know if he's listening. I don't want to tell his business, but there's a reason why he wanted me to come to Virginia, and I found that out when I got there. I was like, oh, okay. So I was driving back and forth, and then being in Virginia, that's when I met my oldest kid's mom. So, and I should have, and that's I should have been more because my cousin's like, man, she didn't act like that when we knew her. I don't know why she acting like that. So um, I will say, like, look, if you want to be with somebody, be you. Don't be something other than yourself to try to get somebody. So, but yeah, we got married and it lasted 7 years, and we got divorced. So.
Okay, so man, all right, me being older now, I'm 37. So it's weird. Sometimes I actually have to think about that. So I'm 37, man. I've only had one marriage. It lasted 12 years, and then me and my ex got divorced. You had one that you were wanting to marry. She said no. Another marriage that went 7 years, which is about the average, man. When you look at the divorce
Oh, really?
statistics, it's right at 8 years. Um,
We got
and
4 years.
and that one didn't work out. Now, you also said that there were some things about yourself that you needed to work on as well. What was the catalyst, and what were those things that you had identified that Germaine needs to work on?
Well, one, nobody can make me happy. Nobody can make you have to make your own self happy. And then on top of that, when you go into a relationship, if you're going in there to try to get something out of it, you're already going in there for the wrong reasons. You go
I
into the
agree.
relationship trying to figure out how you can pour into it. Like, how can I make Alicia better? What can I do to make her, to edify her? And then she should be, well, what can I do to make him better? But she already knows what she can do. She's already made me a better man. So um, a lot of my perspective has changed since being with her. Oh, I didn't look at things like that. And so sometimes you have to look at things from a different point of view. And a lot of us are not willing to do that. You're not willing to just be able to just look at things from a different angle, a different point of view. So, and I've grown enough to know that in order for a relationship to work, you have to understand ain't nothing perfect. It's not going to be, the TV marriage every day. It's work. It's going to be some days where y'all ready to choke each other out. It's going to be some days where you rather to cook breakfast in bed. It's just, it's just like that. So learning how to see things in a different light um, helped me to be better in this marriage. And which is funny because she kind of helped that, because when I met her, I always thought like this. This is what I thought. And she's like, well, why haven't you thought it like this? Or why haven't you seen it like that? And then I got angry and I get mad at her. And then I sat back and like, wait a minute, why haven't I looked at it like that?
That's a fair question.
Why haven't I seen it like that? So I have my perspective about it. A lot of things have changed. So now I can sit here and say, all right, it is what it is. I can see it from this way. I can see it your way. But what is the best way to go about and approach it? Usually it's her way, but what is the best way to go about it? I don't like telling her that. She's listening to you.
Don't be giving up all the secrets, man.
Yeah, like, dang it. Sometimes I be trying to hold fast or something like, no, we're going to do it this way. And I know it's wrong. I just want to do it because I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Like to
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. People know me as being stubborn. I can know that I'm wrong and still do it because it's just the way that I thought about it and wanted to be done. And that's why I believe that I don't believe I'm going to get married again. Like, I've said this to people that, I talk with. I want to say I've said it on my chats with dads in a previous episode. I don't think marriage is for me.
Me either. I wasn't going to get married again. I was
Yeah.
done. I'm not getting married again. I'm not doing it. And then she comes along and here I am. Matter of fact, yeah, I mean, I think we were on a date and I was just looking at her. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to marry her. And she probably wasn't even thinking nothing about it. I'm just sitting here looking at it like, wow. And then just this, I hate to say that because the stuff that she was doing to edify me, like, why are you helping me like this? Like, nobody's ever done this for me. Why are you doing that? I said, because you need it. But she has that helpful, that uplifting spirit. and then in turn you want to get back and give to. And she's told him, she said, put God first. But I think that's uh, evident that God comes first. He's definitely got to keep him involved. Definitely got to stay. I don't know if you're Christian or religion, or well, if you're not, it doesn't matter. You got to have God in what you do, in every aspect. You seek Him first, everything else will fall into place. You seek your relationship with Christ, your job will fall into place. You seek your relationship with Him, your marriage will fall into place. You seek your relationship with Him, your relationship with your kids are going to fall in place. So everything starts from that relationship. That's why it's a cross, because it's this relationship first, and then the arms, and then it goes out. It goes out to the people. So you definitely got to put Him and keep Him in what you're doing. And I would say stay prayed up, but I pray so many times. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm praying. I pray before I clicked on here, like, Lord, help me, say and do the right things and not embarrass my wife. So just little different prayers like that. People put God in a box and like, oh, you can't pray to Him about that, or you can't say to Him about that. You can't tell me what kind of relationship I can have with my God. It's my God for me. If it's your God for you, that's your relationship with Him.
Okay.
Yeah. You got a brother, right?
I do. He's about a year and a half younger than me.
So did your parents treat y'all both the same, or like sometimes he had something different and sometimes you got this different because of a different situation, or was it, you think it was all equal?
They definitely treated us different, and I was also the oldest as well. So I was told, like, in front of him, that like I was going to be the responsible one in the house, and that I was given a little bit more privileges. Like both my mom and my dad would say that right there in front of him. So me and him were definitely treated different.
Yeah. So that's sort of the same thing with this father. He's not going to treat every kid the same. Everybody's going to have something different. Everybody's going to be treated differently because they have a different path. Like a pastor is going to be treated differently than someone who, just, is the janitor cleaning up this stuff, or he's going to be treated different than one person that's trying to find their way and get to the church. They all get treated different. And so it's not always going to be the same type of relationship, but it should be on the same road.
Okay. Hey, man. I have to take it back a second, and I have to commend you on something. If I heard you right, when your first kid moved from West Coast to East Coast, you left the service to be closer to your child. So that was important to you.
Right. It was the most important thing to me at that time, because I didn't want. I grew up without I didn't meet my dad till I was 28 years old. So in my mind, and like I said, I probably should have relaxed because I thought it was the most important thing in the world, and I was willing to put everything on hold. But I should have tried to just compartmentalize it, but I couldn't because I thought about my childhood. I thought about my dad not being there for games. I thought about my dad, and that's how I got into sports. It's probably why I didn't make it, because I got into it because I wanted to stick it to my dad. I wanted to make it to the NFL just so I can throw it in his face that I did it without you. And that was probably the wrong motive for getting into sports, but that's how I got into it, and that's how I was driven. So when this happened with her, she didn't play sports, but I didn't want her to be without me. And I tried so hard to be there that I wound up not even being there anyway, because her mom was like, so when I moved to from California to Virginia, and when I got married again, we actually went to Italy for a little bit, but then we came right back to Virginia, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna move up closer. So I moved to Maryland to try to get closer, and she was like, well, I'm moving to Georgia. So then she took her and moved to Georgia, and then at this time, now I have kids with another woman. So now I can't leave this one to go be with that one. So now I'm really stuck. It's like, okay, what do I do now, Lord? So I thought the best thing to do was to stay put.
How hard of a decision was that? Knowing that you weren't going to be able to be closer to your firstborn like that.
It's gut wrenching because you're in a lose-lose situation. Because if I go be with her to be with that kid, and this kid loses, and then if I go try to be with the kids, this child is gonna lose. So that was the hardest decision I think I probably ever had to make because of that. And
how did that affect the relationship between your daughter, like then and how is it now?
Um, because of that relationship with her is why I'm, among some other things, is why I'm sort of the father that I am now. And I'm kind of an overbearing father because I know there's a lot of stuff that I missed with her. We still talk. I mean, we talk daily. I go down to Georgia to see her, but it affected where she was to a point where she thought I didn't love her because I couldn't come to see her. But at the time, kids don't know your financial situation. Georgia's not wasn't close, especially from Maryland at the time. It wasn't close. But then when I got to North Carolina, I was like, okay, it's still not close. And then you get to doing other things. And then I started coaching, coached in college for a while, so that's a lot of traveling. And it just no excuses. It hurts. Sometimes you wish you can go back, but if you go back, something else is going to change. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I could go back and just be with her mom, then these kids wouldn't be there. And I can't imagine my life without them. So yeah, I want to go back, but then it's like, ooh, no, I don't, because then they wouldn't be here. So I can't go back to do that because this is not gonna happen. So it's hard to say, like I can live my life without regrets. I can say that because I don't at the time I was regretting it, but I can't live with regrets because look at what happened. It seems like to me, I mean, you can probably do this yourself, actually, analytical person. Every time something catastrophic happens in my life, something beautiful comes out of it. So I've learned to, I got to appreciate the bad because of that beautiful good thing that came out of it. So yeah, and every time I'm going through a bad situation, I just relax because something great's about to happen, something's good about to happen with this, So even with my job situations, like every time something happened, I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And then this happens. Like I didn't want to go into college scouting initially, but something happened. And it was like, oh well, I guess I'll go to this. And then now look at me. I have my own nonprofit organization that I'm running because of something that happened that made me say, okay, no, I'm done with it. I'm done with coaching high school. I want to go do this.
Life is, crazy that way, man, because folks that know me know that before I asked my wife or my ex-wife to marry me, one of the things that we talked about was kids and children. And I was never a guy that wanted a lot of kids. Now, I
Mm,
didn't know, I can't say for certain that I said I only wanted one, but I know for a fact I didn't want more than two. Now, I'm the oldest of four, and the four kind of spread out or whatnot.
right.
But to me, like I understood at a very young age that kids are resource hoggers, and that's time, attention, and money. And then as an adult, you're trying to balance adult responsibilities, but also being a parent. If you're
Yeah.
wanting to be an active parent in your
Mm-hmm.
kid's life. Now, I was mad when my ex-wife was pregnant. I was pissed actually up until the day that my daughter was born, bro,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
told my then ex-wife that I wanted to wait until we were at least in our 30s to consider
Mm,
having kids because I wanted to have
right.
fun in our 20s, and you're talking about, change and kind of how things work out. But my 14-year-old now, man, like that's
Yeah.
my ace, man. And I
Yeah.
always kind of joke and say that,
Yeah.
how she is and how our relationship is a bit of punishment for the way that I thought when she was,
Wow.
growing inside of my ex-wife's,
Right.
stomach and stuff, man. Because like I definitely can't imagine, not having her around. Like even though we're not together, man, in the same house, uh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's making me really understand and spend the time that we do have together very purposefully. Whenever she is around.
Mm. So for me, I didn't want to become a dad either. I was scared because I didn't know how to be a dad. I never even saw what the father figures in my life had me doing some crazy stuff. So I didn't know what a good father was supposed to be.
I'm
Because
glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you that.
I didn't know what a good father was supposed to be. I didn't get into church until 20, and that was on accident. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I was scared to death. I'm like, I don't know how to be a dad. So how can I be a dad? Or what does it take to be a dad? And I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'll do everything that he didn't do or he did do. So that's the best way I can explain. So for me, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, this person's going to rely on me for this, and this. How can I do that? So for my daughter, it was, that was scary. But then when my son came along, I actually wanted a daughter because I wasn't being able to spend a time with my 4-year-old daughter. So like, all right, just give me another daughter so I can spend with her. And then it was a boy. So I was like, ooh, a boy. There's a whole lot of things I can do with a boy. And there's another thing, no regrets because everything happened. So when he was born, I was like, yes, I got a son. What we're gonna do? And I thought that I heard from God when he was born because he was born in Italy, so he's an Italian citizen and an American citizen. So at the base, they had this thing called Baby 1000. It was going to be who was going to be the 1000th baby born, who was going to be the one to win that. And my ex-wife, his mom wasn't due for another 2 weeks, and there were 2 women already in labor. So one of them was gonna get the baby 1000 gift. It was a bunch of stuff that came with, like a year for Pampers, write up in the newspaper all across. So all right, baby 1000, and then here he comes. She goes into labor. 6 hours later, he's here.
Oh, and that's quick.
That was quick. It's quick. It's like, oh my God, because they were like, oh, then the doctor's like, oh, which one he's gonna get? And here he comes. Boom. Nope, this is mine. So I thought in my mind, it's like, oh my God, he won. He won a race. So I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna be an athlete.
Starting out good.
He's gonna be an athlete. So, yes, I got it. So now here I am, sports minded. I start putting him in this and putting him in that, and I was overbearing with it. I mean, he won so much stuff with basketball, football, and track and field. I mean, he was killing it. He went through some because he was little, so he got benched a lot. When he went into high school, he was 5'4". I think Alicia was taller than him. When he graduated high school, he was 6'2".
Yo.
Yeah. So in his senior year, I mean, Carolina offered him a walk-on because they don't really do Division I schools. They're by the time a kid get to be a senior, they're done with recruiting. Power 5 D1 schools aren't recruiting seniors, and so if you're a parent on here and you want your kids, you want to know what it's help with your kids in this recruitment, I give you an honest assessment and I'll let you know if he's D1, D2, or D3, or if he shouldn't even be playing. But those schools aren't done. But when he came along, Carolina offered him a walk-on. NC State offered him a walk-on. West Virginia State offered him a walk-on. West Virginia State actually offered him a scholarship, but Winston-Salem State, all these schools offered him a walk-on. He's like, I don't want to do it. A&T offered him a track and field scholarship, and so he wound up going to A&T on a track and field scholarship. He was going to be actually a decathlete because he ran like a 48 in the 400. He could high jump 6'4". He long jump in 21 feet. He could do the hurdles. He could run he ran the 800 like 201 just because. So he had a lot of stuff he can do. So we get to A&T for that first semester. I'm like, oh, where the heck's my son at? It's like some stuff happened. And then so my son was like, I don't want to do sports anymore. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, no. I push bills back. I let this go, man. I let a car go back. I let this happen. No. You got to go. You got to do this. But then, and I was upset and angry. Like, no, man, you got to do this. And then I had to realize, like, look at it from a different perspective, from his point of view.
Whew.
Not something that he want to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But you get to that point, and I'm even to this day, I still have because he graduated high school in 2017. I still have college coaches asking me, where is he? Does he want to does he want to still run or still want to play? He can't go D1, but he can go to Division II or Division III and play because he never stepped on the track. But he got to college and he was like, I don't want to do this. I only want to go to college. And he walked away from it, which is the toughest thing for me to understand. As a parent, you gotta let your kids walk their own walk, man. And no matter or not, you gotta let them they walk. And
like
that was a tough pill to swallow because I was ready to fight.
I mean, I don't even know your son, but I'm kind of tight right now because like as a dad and a parent, like can you start talking about the things that you did to help set up to get there, and then he gets there and then it's like not for me. Whoo. Oh man.
Okay. 6'2" defensive back. He could just shut down. I mean, I had high school coaches telling me, look, because he only played football his senior year. What the funny thing is, his high school coach in basketball benched him, didn't even play him. So he's like, all right, you don't want to play me? I'll go run track and play football. And we did basketball like his whole life. That's all we did was train for basketball. And then his high school coach benches him. Like, what the heck is going on? Why aren't you playing? He's like, all right, he benched me again. I'm going to run track. And he benched him again. And it was his 11th grade year. My son ran track, indoor track, and then wound up getting a college scholarship, D1 scholarship offers in track and field and football when all he did his whole life was basketball. So I was like, I just knew he was going to get to the next level. But he was like, I think basketball was really his love. And because that happened, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just did that just to be doing stuff. That's what I think. But yeah, it was crazy, man. Like it was one thing that led to another, and he got this like, nah, I don't want to do this. I just want to. Yeah.
So many questions. So what was the follow through after he got out of track?
I just had to step back and let him do his own thing. I just had to step back, like, all right, this is your life. You're 18 now. I'm here now as a mentor. I tried to be a dictator because I tried to push it. Let's get this. Let's get up. Let's go train. Let's get up. Let's go train. Let's go do this. Let's do this. Now I'm like, oh, look, man, you on your own. I'm here for you. I've been through this. I know what I can tell you, but you got to live, and you got to live by the decisions that you make. Because now I don't want to be able to tell you something and it's wrong, and then you get mad at me because I laid it out for you. I laid it out for you. All you had to do was sign the paper, and you were done. I think West Virginia State, they gave him their Division II school, so they gave him a full ride as a freshman, and they don't even do that. But they saw that he was 6'2" and good. College coaches, I mean not college, but high school coaches was like, yeah, man, we saw the film. We was like, we ain't throwing over there. Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, if you look at his first couple of films, he was jumping and knocking. It was like, nope, we ain't going. He didn't get thrown at until we got into the playoffs, and his team went to the playoffs 2 years in a row. His junior year that he played, and his senior year, and they haven't been back since. I ain't gonna say it was him, but I'm just saying he was part of that team. There was some horses on his team. 2 of them in the NFL right now. So, and I'm like, man, that could have been you, man. Yeah, but it's not. I thought I had it. I knew I laid the groundwork. I was gonna retire when he got to the NFL. I was gonna kick back and just watch him play. And he was like, I don't want to do it.
Man, that is wow. Yeah. Like I'm thinking about how I would feel if I lived that, man, and just a range of emotions from angry to frustrated to
want to choke his neck.
I'm gonna say like, and I don't mean it's bad, but like disappointed, And I try. My daughter knows that the day that she lets me down is the day that I tell her I'm disappointed in you. I haven't said that yet, but I don't know. I think that there's going to come a time where she's going to make a decision, and I am not going to like it.
It's going to be the guy she marries.
And I have to ask myself, if I'm disappointed in that, and if I have a right to be disappointed. I don't know, you know.
Are you disappointed in her, or are you disappointed in the decision? Like you thought one thing, but it's one to be. So are you really disappointed in her, or are you just disappointed in the situation?
That'll be a fair question, man.
Yeah,
I I hope I have the wisdom to ask myself that when it comes up.
yeah. Because I had to ask myself that: am I disappointed in him, or am I disappointed in the situation? I wasn't disappointed in him. I was disappointed in the situation
Hmm.
because I just, it's like, all right, I get it, but come on, man. I just, I. Mm. So yeah, bringing it back. I had the Woosah. This is it's his life, and he's got to deal with it. But I've always told him like, look, your life, and it's funny because he's got to develop his own relationship with Christ. But I keep telling him like, look, man, your life, I don't think is gonna go right until you start walking in your gift. Sometimes what we want to do and what we're made to do are two different things. This is God. This is your gift. I know this is what you want to do, but this is your gift. Like some people want to sing, but that ain't your gift. This is your gift. Some people want to dance, but this is your gift. So a lot of times, what you were meant to do and what you was birthed to do doesn't line up with what you want to do. But if you start doing what you meant to do, you probably wind up getting to do what you want to do.
Okay.
You got to walk. Yeah.
All right. Leisha, if you're still watching and listening, this question is for you. But Germaine, it is actually your question. So how do you convince a young lady as a father of five to take a chance on you?
Well, I didn't convince her. I really believe that she saw my spirit because I'm a father. Make no ifs ands about. I was trying to be in the street, but I'm a father. I did a lot of stuff wrong, but I believe that I'm the father that I am because I didn't have a father. So I was always going to make sure that I was there for my kids. And she said honest communication, but I was going to make sure that I'm in his heart. So I was going to make sure that I was there for my kids. And I'm an open book. With my son and my oldest daughter and my middle daughter, I tried to be this goody two shoe, uppity Christian, only listen to gospel music type of person because I thought that's what I wanted my kids to see. So I was trying to be this so my kids could see that, not knowing that if they saw a true dad, that they would be disappointed. So I just wound up showing my heart and being exactly who I am and loving me and loving them who I am. Because I cuss. And before I was trying not to be this cuss, but I let them fly because it makes me
Yeah.
feel good and it's going to get the point across. So, but before, for years, I didn't cuss. And it was actually a job that brought it out of me. But I think she saw who I was, and it's like, okay, I know you got 5 kids, but it was almost because they all wasn't in the house at the same time. Like my oldest daughter was with her mom, and then the other kids they was with their mom. So I had joint custody. So it was every other weekend. It wasn't like full on. But when they got there, she's like, "Oh my God, your kids are amazing!" Like I really believe that they love her more than well, my son Josh. I definitely know he likes her more than he likes me. He's a little. I ain't gonna say he's different, but they have the same kind of things that they like. So my son Josh, he's into dancing, and he's into dancing, and he's into cheering, and he's into the band and drum line and all that stuff. And I went to an HBCU, and Alicia went to HBCU. So she went to Winston-Salem State, so he always rags about it. But they had a good band, they had a good cheerleaders, and a lot of her friends are cheerleaders. So they be doing cheers and stuff like that. And so she kind of knows how to cheer. So when he be dancing and she be sitting there watching, they kind of click. So now he'll talk to her about stuff. I'm like, hey, I want to see. Like, what y'all doing? Like, I want to see. But so they have a different kind of connection. My son, when he was going all up through, and I'm not trying to rag on his mom, but all through high school, it was, me and I call her Gizzy, but me and Alicia was at his games. So on senior night, when his mom shows up, people are like, "Who the heck is this lady? We've never seen her in our life 4 years. Why isn't she out here? That's his mom." So because they kind of, I don't know if you see pictures, but they kind of look alike. So they took on that head. Now, my youngest daughter is something. She's rebellious, and I think that's all on me because we were here, but in my mind, I was like, I think her mom, because I wasn't with Alicia then. I'm just when she was younger. I think her mom would probably be a better person to show her how to be a lady. So I was like, "Oh, you need to spend more time with your mom," not thinking that she's bitter and she's hurting.
Mm.
So instead of trying to teach her how to be a lady, she was teaching her how to hate dad. Your father ain't this. He did this. He don't even love you because he ain't around you. All he do is think about your brother, and he taking him to this game and taking him to that game. So he don't even want to be. So that was on me. In hindsight, that was on me. But in my mind, I was like, I don't know how can I, especially where I'm at now. Like, okay, you spend more time with your mom so she can teach you how to be a mom. Where I should have been having to spend more time with me so she can see what a man is. So she can see how a man treats a woman. So she can be around someone strong and someone who loves her and going to show her if the dude you talking to is not like me, then you shouldn't be talking to him. Because boy, I'm trying to tell you, she'll be 18 in January, and I'm sorry, not Keon, because he's a big dude. I don't want to talk. But some of the dudes, some of the guys that she brought home looked like they were zoo animals. I'm like, hey, what time do you got to get this boy back? Don't the zoo close at 9? This boy is ugly. I'm like, what is he? Is he a chimp or what is he? What's this one? So there was just some ugly dudes, and I was like, oh my God. So I should have, but in hindsight, you can't go back. But I should have been there more. So the only thing I tell you, I know she's young, pour into her. Let her spend as much time with you as possible. I don't know what the situation is, but even if it ain't your day, go by the school, have lunch with her, and take her back or something like that. But just make sure you're there for her because you don't know what's being said on the other side.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, yeah, absolutely. I tell people all the time, I feel as though I'm very, very fortunate that it wasn't a contentious split and her time and what's the word? Availability for both parents, it's wide open. Like I don't have to worry about let me try to see if I can try and get some time, and then I'm like stressing over that, just maybe even just wanting to go take her to go get some ice cream or something. I'm not worried about you getting in like whenever there's stuff that comes up that I'm thinking, hey, this might be good. I know it's not my time, but is it cool if I pick Castle up and go take her here, or go and do this or whatnot? And thank goodness, man, 'cause that's just the stress of wanting to be present. All right,
yeah,
the stress of wanting to be present can lead someone to make some really bad decisions if they're not able to be present and the other person for whatever reason makes it difficult. Even if they're not trying to make it difficult, like if their career or something or their family's here, but your opportunities and stuff is here, like decisions have to be made on where am I going to go and how am I going to support myself when I get there, to try to make things work so that you can be present around your kids, man. That's being an adult sucks sometimes
because you got to make hard decisions, and you may be in a no-win situation, but you got to find what's the greater good. What's the greater good. So how are you going to make this decision? But I'm kudos to being able to have that relationship, but I kind of wish I had that, but you just can't. Ooh, it's tough.
Yeah, man. I totally recognize how fortunate that I am with that. Have any plans for any more?
Yes.
Oh, snap.
Yes. We're working on twins. So if you know anybody that prays or a baby whisperer or something like that, hit it this way. So, okay. We want twins. Whatever God gives, we taking it. But she's insistent. But I think if you're doing the fertility pills and stuff like that, it's a given you're gonna have twins. But yes, definitely, because biologically, Alicia doesn't have her own, so we are working on that. I think I'm not for sure, but we may work on it tonight. I don't know what your plans are, but definitely definitely are really really trying to have more. I'm that type of person. I love kids, and even though starting out like scared like I was because I didn't know what type of dad I was gonna be. So now I know that. Now I think I got it. Now I think I got the handle on how to do it now, and watch these be something totally different. But I definitely definitely want more. If it's in the cards, even I know I'm even open to adopt. At this because I like kids that much. I still want to adopt. Just like I ain't adopt, you don't know, but I just I like kids. I like pouring into them. I like helping change lives, whether it be through kids, through athletics. I can't wait for these 2022 graduates to start getting scholarships so I can post it because so we've only doing this for 8 months. So we got some 2021s in there at the last minute, but I've had a whole year for these 2022s and 2023 graduates. So to be able to pour and help them change their lives and get to a scholarship and get to school is like humongous for me. So twins running the family. So
Yep. Twins definitely running the family.
twins running. Yeah.
A shout out to Juanette. I see that she's
Yeah.
watching and posted in the chat.
Yeah. So it's definitely in the cards. So I just now I think I got it. And even though they're gonna probably be something totally different, but I think I got it. I know how to handle the kids now, through trial and error. So
Man, let me find out it's triplets, bro. I'm gonna be
no,
cracking up
why
laughing.
did you do that?
Cracking up laughing.
Why did you do that?
Hey, Alicia gonna be mad at me.
Why did you say that? Yo!
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, boy, she gonna be mad at me.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, check it, Germaine. We are running up on an hour. Hey, I told you that time goes by quick, man. There's a lot other stuff that we could get into as well, but I like to respect your time and the people who are watching time as well. So I tell you what, man, we have to set this up to have you come back on. I'm looking at also doing something toward the end of this year where I'm calling it Chats with Dads, but it's going to be like a panel where I want to have people from different backgrounds come on and we just talk about different subjects, value based things, faith based things. You had have brought up stuff, being spiritual. I'm not a religious person. I grew up in the church. My family knows that. But I've taken a different path in my adult years, and such is my life.
Right. That's your walk, man. I mean, to believe it or not, I know we're going up. Okay, I ran from Christ when I was little. I ran from the church because my aunt took me to church when I was 5, and my mom met this guy who was a pastor when I was like 10. And what I saw, I was like, man, if that's church, now I don't want to be a part of it because he'd be preaching, and then he'd come and he'd hit on my mom and beat on my mom, and then he'd drink and stuff like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is hypocritical. I don't want to be. No, I ain't being in the church. I'm never going to church. And the funny thing is, because of the spirit that I had, of how I was a partier. I was a goer. I was like 20 years old. I was in the military, and I had no intentions of ever stepping into a church. But this girl that I like, me and my homeboys like, and they're like, man, you ain't gonna get with her unless you go to church. And say, man, let's go to church and try to holler at her if we can get to her like that. So we went to church a couple of times, sat behind her, talked to her, getting a hey girl, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Let me get your number, stuff like that. And then we went to church the next time, and I probably heard it 100 times, but the pastor said something and he caught my attention. I'm like, what did he say? And then I just started listening, and then I started going to church. kept going to church. Now I don't even remember the girl. I can't tell you the girl's name, but that's why I keep telling everybody I got saved on accident.
I like that.
I was going to church for a whole different reason. I was trying to get, and look at where I wound up. So,
all right. Well, hey man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on, especially coming off of a call,
yes,
doing
sir.
your job, and then swinging over here. I definitely love to have you back on
Okay.
sometime here in the future. And look, everybody's busy, but let me start off by saying, welcome to the family. I had a chance to meet your mom earlier.
Oh yeah.
That was
She was
on.
standing by. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, welcome to the family. We need to try to link up sometime soon, man. I was talking to Billy about trying to get the cousins and stuff
Oh
together,
yeah. I was
and
listening to that. I was listening. Yeah.
yeah. So we have something planned up, spring of 2022, man.
Okay. I'm
So
down.
we'll get the com started on trying to make a link up work, man, and you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you partake in adult beverages. I do. You know what
I
I'm saying?
do. If
So
Jesus do, I do.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Germaine, I'm gonna have you sign out real quick, but again, because I'm a believer in the platform that you have, talk about the website and your platform real quick, man, as a sign out.
Okay, so my platform is called HBCU Bound Athletics. If you want to give to HBCU Bound Athletics, you just go to our website. I don't know if I can share the screen or not, but you just go to our website, and on there it says "Donate Now." You can donate. We also have a Shopify account. Like if you want to purchase merchandise, hey, yeah, there you go. You want to purchase merchandise, up there in the corner, there's a contact button. You can contact right there. And then on the home page, if you click on the home page,
Clicking.
yep,
There
there's
we
a
go.
donate now. There's the donate now button right there. You can click on that donate now button. Um, we also have a website where you can shop. I don't know if I can send that to you or not, but there's a place where you can go and you can shop for our links. We're on Instagram, so follow us on Instagram at HBCU Bound Athletics. Follow us on Facebook, HBCU Bound Athletics. Follow us on Twitter, HBCU Bound Athletics. So very easy to find. If you do have an athlete and you think that you wanted to get them evaluated, just click on that contact button and just fill out the form, and we'll do an evaluation and stuff like that, and we'll go from there. So we do have speed and agility classes and strength and conditioning classes as well, but you got to be local to do that. Virtual classes aren't starting up again until after football season because we do some virtual speed and agility classes as well. Let me see if I can send you the real quick the website to purchase merchandise.
Matter of fact, I think I've got it because you sent it to me
Yeah.
in Messenger. Boom. See, now things don't want to act right. Alicia said, wrap it up, hey, DJ. DJ is in the building. What's up, cuz?
What up, oh, DJ jumped in.
DJ jumped in. He said, y'all know I do as far as, partaking in the adult
Oh
beverages.
yeah. DJ, he started losing in ping pong when he drinks. He got whooped by Alicia.
Hey, I tell you what, I'll put the link up in the description post show, man. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Hey, Germaine, stand by one. I'm gonna cut the show real quick, and I'll chop it up with you post show for a minute or two.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. It looks like you got something up here.
Do I?
Oh, you
Is that
did.
me? That was because this is the website,
Okay.
and then you go to catalog, and then that's all the merchandise that you can purchase if you want. All the different merchandise that you can purchase. We have a lot of HBCU stuff, hats. So that's the website up there in the top corner, HBCU Bound Athletics, Shopify.com, and just different. This is my favorite right here, but just HBCU Christian.
Okay.
Yeah. So and all the proceeds that people buy when they buy it go straight to helping these athletes. I don't receive any of that. This one straight out of HBCU, so I don't. None of this goes to me. It all goes to helping the athlete get recruited.
Okay, hey, like,
How do I stop
what's
sharing?
the? Oh, I did. My bad.
Oh,
What's the culture of that? Because I didn't attend the HBCU, but can I rep something like a straight out of HBCU shirt and not be seen, as a poser? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, you can. You can. We have other shirts too as well. It's like most of it is athletically based shirts. I guess I could get a regular shirt, but yeah, straight out HBCU. There's you can rep HBCU Bound Athletics if you just wear the shirt. Like, and they'll say, "What's HBCU Bound Athletics?" And you say it's a company that helps high school athletes with the college recruitment process. So that's the conversation starter right there. So. Um, but I run shirts. I love to run shirts. I love to sprint and stuff like that. So I guess I should put some non HBCU stuff on there. So good call on that one. So we got to work on that, Giz. And she's like, wrap it up.
I bet. Hey, all right, Germaine. Hey, man, thanks for coming on. This was a blast. Talking with you is like we've met previously in the past. So yeah, man, this was absolutely fun to do.
All right. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It was awesome.
All right, pimp, stand by one. Man, don't
Okay.
go anywhere. All right. That was Coach G, Germaine. Ooh, and I hope I say this right. Cousar. Man, I said right. Oh, I got the thumbs up. I said it right. All right. Hey, that was a blast. That taught me something as well too. I think that there was some nuggets in there, where we talked about, choices, all right, and the decisions that you make growing up. I think the part that I really liked was where he talked about his son who was in college and decided that, running track wasn't his thing. I often think about the stuff that my daughter is looking at doing as she's, growing up, and the stuff that I'm pouring to support her in. If she were to change her mind, whew, especially when, like, I know she's good at something, like she's fantastic at art, and I've been pouring resources into helping her develop that. If she were to get somewhere and then be like, yeah, I want to do this, man, let me have the wisdom to be as supportive as I can while she, becomes an adult and figure out what it is that she wants to do. So, Germaine, thanks for coming on. To everybody that watched or will watch, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate the engagement. To the people that are going to check this out in audio, it'll be on all major podcasting platforms within the next hour. But if you hear it on audio, come on over to YouTube or to my community facing Facebook page. That is facebook.com/The Actual King Smith. I'll be back next Wednesday night with another Chats with Dads. Peace.